Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. President Duterte will certify as urgent the bill creating a Department of Overseas Filipino Workers. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque made the statement after the president renewed his call for the passage of the said measure, noting that it was one of his campaign promises during the 2016 polls. According to Roque, with Duterte highlighting the importance of the said department, the president will certify its creation as urgent. The House of Representatives passed on third and final reading in March House Bill 5832, the Department of Filipinos Overseas Act. Similar bills are pending in the Senate. The measure states that the main duty of the department is to protect the rights and welfare of OFWs by regulating overseas deployment and pursuing illegal recruitment and human trafficking cases and help prosecute offenders. According to Roque, the government will be able to settle the mandates of the new department despite its attention focused on the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, sa lalong mabilis na panahon po, gusto ni Presidenteng mabuo yung departamento na yan at sigurado naman po ako na dahil dito, isa-certify as urgent yan ng mas mapabilis po ang pagpasa niyan bilang isang batas.
Department of Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara believes there is a need for values formation and to educate the public that corruption is wrong if the government hopes to reduce corrupt activities. Guevara said on Wednesday that a DOJ-led task force investigating corruption in government is also set to conduct a corruption prevention campaign, including a public information drive. Yesterday, Guevara met with National Bureau of Investigation Officer in Charge, Director Eric Destor, and Prosecutor General Benedicto Malcontento to discuss how the mega task force led by the Department of Justice can proceed with investigating the entire government for corruption. The DOJ said Guevara also discussed with the two officials the methods of securing information regarding incidences of corruptions in government and possible approaches for the conduct of the investigations of allegations of corruption, taking into consideration the gravity of the allegations and its impact on the delivery of government services. Duterte issued a memorandum ordering Guevara to expand the coverage of the task force's investigation on PhilHealth to include the entire government. The Food and Drug Administration warned the public against buying and consuming food products that were found unregistered with the agency. In its advisory, the FDA listed the 5 unregistered products with no corresponding issued certificates of product registration. The SM Markets immediately recalled its sugar items after the FDA issued a warning. Last month, FDA flagged Reno liver spread for the same violation, which also led to product recall. Reno returned to the markets after getting registered with the FDA. The tropical depression east of the country has slightly slowed down, but it is still anticipated to enter the Philippine Area of Responsibility by Thursday and move towards the Bicol region over the weekend. In its tropical cyclone advisory issued today, Pag-asa estimated the weather disturbance at 1,960 kilometers east of central Luzon. It has maintained its strength of 55 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 70 kph while moving west-northwest slowly. Pag-asa said the tropical depression will move generally west or west-northwest towards the eastern boundary of the PAR, then southwest by Thursday afternoon through Saturday morning. It was earlier anticipated to enter the PAR between Wednesday evening and Thursday morning, but because the cyclone has slightly slowed down, it is now anticipated to enter on Thursday afternoon or evening. Once inside the PAR, the tropical depression will get the local name Rolly. Good news for motorists who have not yet installed RFID stickers on their vehicles. The Department of Transportation has moved the full implementation of the cashless toll collections on expressways from November 2 to December 1. This will give motorists at least a month to comply with the DOTR directive to only use a cashless mode of payment when entering toll roads, as a new deadline will no longer be extended according to the Toll Regulatory Board. DOTR Assistant Secretary for Road Transport and Infrastructure Mark Steven Pastor reminded motorists to make use of the extended deadline to have RFID installed in their vehicles as early as they can to also avoid overcrowding in installation sites. The DOTR warned that motorists who fail to conform to the government mandate after the set deadline will be apprehended and issued a citation ticket. In Metro News, Valenzuela LGU shuts down convenience store for violating COVID-19 health protocols. Muntinlupa City bans karaoke and videoke on weekdays. And Navotas City improves in COVID response with only 113 active cases.
The local government of Valenzuela City has shut down a convenience store for not consistently using the city's contact tracing application and not observing minimum health standards against the spread of coronavirus disease. According to Mayor Rex Gatchalian, they ordered the closure of the Alpha Mart branch in Barangay Ugong yesterday, October 27, following numerous complaints despite the LGU's massive information and campaign warning. Gatchalian said the incident should serve as a reminder to other business establishments to consistently follow the guidelines against COVID-19. Residents of Muntinlupa City need to wait until the weekend before they can belt out and perform their favorite song in videoke and karaoke machines. Muntinlupa Mayor Jaime Fresnedi had issued a new ordinance banning the use of machines during weekdays to prevent unnecessary noise that will disturb communities, especially students who are now attending online classes because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Exempted for the ordinance are public announcements made by local and national government agencies using sound-producing machines and devices. Anyone found violating the ordinance will be fined 2,000 pesos to 5,000 pesos or jailed up to 30 days or both. Navotas City has only 113 active COVID-19 cases as of October 26, or 2.2% of the city's 5,111 total cases. About 4,152 have recovered while 146 have died from the disease. This is a significant development because Navotas used to record as many as 100 cases a day in July and August. Navotas Mayor Toby Tiangco reminded his constituents to continue observing minimum health protocols to contain the spread of the virus.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. Ilocos Norte Police and PDEA seized 2.4 million pesos worth of marijuana. Iloilo City implements repeat swab tests for COVID-19 positives. And 15 new COVID-19 cases and 2 fatalities recorded in the Caraga region. More from this report.
Ilocos Norte Police, together with the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or PDEA, seized 2.4 million pesos worth of marijuana plants in the tri-boundaries of Sugpon, Ilocos Sur and Kibungan, Benguet. The authorities were able to confiscate 8,100 fully grown marijuana plants and 10,000 seedlings. The marijuana plants were immediately uprooted by the authorities and burned them in the area, leaving only a few samples collected by the agents for forensic laboratory analysis. Individuals who tested positive for coronavirus disease in Iloilo City must undergo repeat swab tests prior to being declared as recoveries. This after Mayor Jerry Treñas issued an executive order making it mandatory for COVID-19 positives to undergo repeat RT-PCR tests before they can be allowed to return to normal activities of daily living. The mayor explained the city government's move comes after DOH's Western Visayas Regional Office reported 42 new confirmed cases earlier this week. The new policy takes effect today, Wednesday, October 28, and is free for all city residents and even non-city residents as long as they are in the city, including being admitted at one of the hospitals or staying at quarantine facilities. The number of coronavirus disease cases in Caraga region continued to rise with 15 new cases as well as 2 deaths on Tuesday, October 27. According to the medical status of the new COVID-19 patients, 2 have severe symptoms, 10 have mild symptoms and 38 were asymptomatic. In a virtual press briefing on Tuesday, the Department of Health Center for Health and Development reported that Caraga region now has a total of 2,669 confirmed cases of COVID-19 with 649 active cases and 115 deaths. A total of 1,905 recoveries were also recorded.
In world news, Biden insists he'll tackle virus as Trump pushes super recovery. Russia seeks accelerated WHO registration for virus vaccine. And over 20 dinosaurs model Rome cycling track in Singapore. Let's watch this report.
Joe Biden flayed Donald Trump on Tuesday with accusations the U.S. president has surrendered to a surging pandemic as the Democrat took his campaign to the Republican stronghold of Georgia 1 week before the U.S. election. Speaking in Warm Springs, Georgia, Biden branded the COVID pandemic response a capitulation by a White House that never really tried to halt a pandemic which has now killed more than 226,000 Americans. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump said Tuesday the Republicans will approve a pandemic rescue package for the U.S. economy after the November 3 election, seeming to concede defeat on efforts to reach a deal this week. He also improbably predicted Republicans would regain control of the lower house of Congress and blamed House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for the impasse in talks over steps to help counteract the devastating impact that the health crisis had on households and businesses. Russia has applied to the World Health Organization for accelerated registration and pre-qualification of its Sputnik V coronavirus vaccine, the country's sovereign wealth fund. On Tuesday, the Russian Direct Investment Fund, which finances the vaccine, said that accelerated registration would make Sputnik V available globally in a shorter time frame than usual procedures. When contacted by AFP, the WHO said the requests are confidential. According to the Russian statement, successful pre-qualification will enable Sputnik V to be included in the list of the medicines used by international procurement agencies and countries to guide bulk purchasing of medicines. So far, the WHO said it has not yet pre-qualified a vaccine for COVID-19 nor published any emergency use listing. Cyclists and pedestrians stopped to pose with the giant rampaging Tyrannosaurus Rex along a new cycling and jogging track in Singapore. Over 20 models from 9 different prehistoric species are installed along the kilometer-long path, including bright blue Velociraptor climbing on a buggy, a baby dinosaur hatching from an egg, and the long-necked Apatosaurus peering at passerby over the fence. The Jurassic Mile is part of the new 3.5 kilometers connector that allows visitors to cycle from the city from the airport and vice versa.
In entertainment, a day after K-pop group Twice released the music video of their song I Can't Stop Me, it has earned more than 33 million views on YouTube. This makes it the #1 trending video on YouTube. The song is the main track from their album Eyes Wide Open, released last October 26. Supporters of the 9-piece Korean girl group expressed their excitement for their comeback in the music scene, saying that this is their best comeback ever. In sports, defending champions San Miguel Beer and Meralco are set to face off for a chance to extend their winning streak to 3 games on Wednesday in the PBA Philippine Cup at the Angeles University Foundation Sports and Cultural Center. The Beer men, who lost Terrence Romeo to an injury, and the Bolts will clash tonight at 6:45 p.m. as the two teams with similar 3-2 slates aim to stay in good form entering the halfway point of their elimination round campaigns. SMB boxed a 1-2 start, including 2 straight defeats since the restart, by posting victories over Terra Firma and Alaska. Meralco, on the other hand, defeated Magnolia and NLEX behind an improved showing from Chris Newsome, who was named Player of the Week by the PBA Press Corps. Having Newsome perform bodes well for Meralco, which is eyeing a strong showing in the Philippine Cup following a streak of lousy performances in the season's most important tournament. In today's episode of Tech Talk, one of the dilemmas of smartphone users nowadays is that sometimes you don't get what your money's worth is because your data allocation expires even before you have consumed the entirety of the data you have brought. This is what the new SIM card brand hopes to address as it enters the Philippine market with a data allocation that does not expire. Is it worth it? Our Manila Bulletin Tech News editor Art Samaniego finds out the performance of this new SIM card from someone who is currently using the SIM card. Let's watch it.
Hello and good day. This is Art Samaniego and welcome to another episode of Tech Talk. Smartphones have become a staple gear people use to communicate. And one thing that makes our smartphone connected is the SIM card. Recently, a new brand of SIM card appeared in the Philippine market, and it's called GOMO. GOMO is the first of its kind in the Philippines where the credits that you load to it do not expire and can be converted to calls, texts, and data. On top of that, it's an app-based SIM card where all its controls can be done through the app. Today, we will talk to Gino Mercado, Manila Bulletin's fitness consultant, who decided to use the GOMO SIM card to know if it's worth to be a GOMO user. Hello, Gino.
Hi, Sir Art. Thanks for having me.
So, what convinced you to try a GOMO SIM card?
Well, I just saw it. It's in an ad. I usually watch YouTube videos, so it just appeared. You know those YouTube ads. It came out, and then it said, 199 free shipping, 25 gig, and then no expiry. It wasn't actually the 199 that was fine. It was the no expiry that caught my attention, and I was like, okay, it made me curious. No expiry. They usually here in the Philippines we have when you buy prepaid, yeah, or when you're using postpaid, the credits you use you replenish. But what if I haven't used any of my credits?
Then you ordered online.
Right away, I checked online. I clicked the link, and then at first I thought it was like, okay, this is a scam, because why is it so cheap? Then I checked the website thoroughly, and then I found out, okay, it has a Facebook page, and it was a promo.
Oh, so how long did it take for the SIM card to be delivered?
It took a while. It said on the website says 1 to 3 days for Metro Manila, and it said free shipping.
Okay.
So of course, I got one. I got one for my brother. I called my brother right away. Hey, I'm gonna get a new SIM card. Let's try it out. And then I think it took me a week. Yes, a week or more than a week.
So meron siyang app.
Yes, it has an app.
So how easy is the app to use?
What I like about it, when I use the app, before you place the SIM card, to activate it, you need the app. So once I installed the app, then placed the SIM card, the process was easy. It's like it automatically detected that I had that number, and then I just had to make my own PIN.
So what's the number? What's the start of the number?
0976.
7976.
So it uses 0976.
So how's the phone signal?
It depends on the area.
The location.
Yeah, the
location. Just like the other.
Yeah,
the
just
other
like other networks. Depends on the location. But where I live at QC, the signal is very strong.
So you're also using it for internet connectivity?
Yes, I used it a lot. I mean, it became my main SIM. Right now, just because I want to try it out. I've been using it for a while. I use it for my main. Not bad when it comes to signal at my place, but at work, the signal fluctuates.
So the internet speed is okay.
The internet speed is fast. I'd say it's fast. It's really fast. I can watch, I can stream preloaded. I watch Netflix. I tried calling with data. But it still depends on the area. That's my main concern, just the area.
So have you encountered any problem with the SIM card or with the app?
With the app, I like the app. It's compared to the different
To others.
Yeah. The app is easy to use. I've been using it. It's like a no-brainer. You click it, and then if you wanna reload, you just click. Say I wanna get credits, and the flexibility. Let's say because I don't really use call and text. I don't use call and text. I usually use data. But if it's an emergency call, you can convert it easily. Your data can be converted to text or call. So I use the call, and it's what's amazing about it. When you call, it calls to all networks. You're not restricted to just one. Yeah, especially the text. I think it converts 0.2 gig to like 200 MB to call or 200 MB to text, and it depends on the availability of your data.
So, will you recommend this to us, your friends?
Yes, I'd recommend. Really, I'd recommend it. If you're into business or you're a person who uses different numbers or use data, this can be your second. Let's say second. Because of the no expiry. Because usually that's why I also got it because of the no expiry. The no expiry, let's say if you have a main phone and then you have a secondary phone, you don't want to keep on paying the secondary phone for its data. So you can just keep it there and then use it as emergency.
So based on your experience, what are the pros and cons of using the GOMO?
The pros would be, one would be signal strength. We call this, depending on the location, the signal goes down. But in some areas, suddenly it's so high, download speeds are high. And then one pro tip, con would be if you want to get other packages. It only has two packages right now. It's the 299 and then the 499. 299 is just data and you're just stuck with 25. But what if I want to get 50 gig? So you have to double it, but you have to pay double, right? And then next, the call and text of 499. Let's say I want to add more calls. I want to add more. You only have 299. You're stuck with 299 or 499. And then just to get more, you just pay more, right? But pros, I'd say the best part is the no expiry. Just the no expiry. That's it. Period. Because if you're not using it, usually some other networks, they expire. So it's like, you spend money on it, and then if you're not using it, it's like you're just burning cash. Yeah. But for me, the no expiry was really the hit.
Saka mas mura.
Yes, because some
mura.
Yeah, some networks would be you had to be at this certain service in order for you to get 25 gig. Where can you get 25 gig for that price, 299? It's like, it's crazy.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Art, for having me.
Yeah, thank you. GOMO calls itself a fully digital telco, but it works under Globe's network. This means that its LTE and 5G capabilities would depend on the telco's availability and quality. So what's the catch? Nothing. The pricing though looks great, but don't expect to get a better bandwidth than what Globe has to offer. And that is our Tech Talk for this week. Join us again next time for another exciting episode of Tech Talk. Be fully informed.
And those are the news on Web today, October 28, 2020. It's 57 days before Christmas. For more news and details, get your copy of Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph. You may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.